and record. I have double parters anymore. Annoying.
Mhm.
Done. Right. And hello everyone, I'm AD Springer, also known as Corbinian. This is the Electric Metropolis video game tour, and today we are returning to a continuing adventure, another episode of Star Trek Return to the Frontier, Star Trek Adventure Campaign, and we're in our next episode to come up. So from here, I give it over to the GM.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. There's a log. You should be able to see it, Solaris.
Oh,
So
you
go ahead
never.
and
Okay,
read
hold on.
through that.
Give me 1 second.
Oh, we all have 10 thread, everybody. Let's go. Oh.
I'm spending my threat to avoid the complication of I don't know what the log is. Okay. Commodore's log. Stardate 1313.5. We have received a new assignment after a considerable time of inactivity. The UESPA has chartered ships from the 10th Fleet to investigate SETI Kappa 6 in the SETI Kappa system on the edge of the barren expanse. The UESPA wants us to convey a team that will investigate the unusual reports received by ships over the years, which seem to be centered on SETI Kappa 6. This is the first time I'll get to work with CN professionally, as she has taken a position on the investigative team. And log directives. And our only directive right now is to reach the SETI Kappa system.
We go to main engineering.
I see we have a guest star. Whatever happens, it's their fault.
Where we have the traits USS Thralic and expedition preparation. As you, Revere, are beaming on board the survey team's equipment, and one of their members is here to oversee correct transport and stowage.
All right.
Harusk says, Commander, this will be the third set of equipment labeled planetary sensors. I think we are storing redundant equipment.
Who am I? Who is the representative of the survey team?
They can introduce themselves.
I'm Sabira Serene. I'm with the USPA, UESPA. And this equipment is of value, since we will need backups on backups as per the new recommendations for charter acquisition, as well as some personal equipment that I'm bringing along in the event that we have to adjust for unexpected hazards and complications. I made sure to qualify it within your cargo manifest limitations, but if there is anything that does not fit within your hazmat regulations, I am more than willing to prioritize what should and shouldn't be there. I have marked what is mission critical and what is nice to have.
Insight, command, difficulty 2, Revere.
Okay. Any of my focuses or traits apply? Or if you'll tell me kind of what I'm trying to figure out, maybe I can toss some at you.
It's related to cargo volume on the Hermes and the Hermes variant type ships.
Okay.
And I'm thinking, I was debating with myself, but I am willing to accept engineering, but it'll be answered differently.
I am in main engineering, so that should reduce my difficulty by 1. It doesn't say anything about the task having to be a engineering task.
Are you in main engineering? I thought you were in the cargo bay.
No. Well, he said main engineering.
Yeah. For our purposes, they're on the same deck.
So being in the place where you are the
This is being-
absolute
let me rephrase.
ruler.
The cargo transporters are located on the same deck as main engineering. There are cargo bays throughout the ship.
So do I get the main engineering bonus or nay?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll reduce it to 1. That
As in this
climb-
case, this is you quickly being able to pull up on a terminal the status of all of the cargo bays across the ship.
Right.
Whereas if you were somewhere else on the ship, that's not already going to be pulled up for you in most places.
So would you say this is a task that involves the programming or study of a computer system?
No.
Okay, fair enough. All right, I don't think I got any focuses that are going to
I don't
apply
think so
here.
either.
So yeah, I think I will. This is a command. We don't have any momentum, so I'll give you a threat for a 3rd die and just see maybe we can get a couple of momentum on the table. Hey, we do get a couple of momentum on the table.
You get 2 momentum. The first thing you notice is someone at Starfleet headquarters, when they wrote these orders, made a mistake. They told Sabi Ra and her team the cargo capacity you have when you're on a garrison assignment, and the ship literally doesn't have anyone on it, and is not going is not expected to leave very often. So it's just emergency supplies. But
Right.
you are this could take 6 months or a year. This expedition, so it's not even close. It's you have a tenth of what they expected.
So with this, have I figured out the volume of equipment they will need to dispense with? like knowing this, can I go, okay, you're going to have to reduce your cargo by, 20 tons or whatever? Or is that another role? And Corby, could you put the character's name in the chat somewhere?
No. It's in my name.
Well.
It's my name. Correct.
Oh, you can also look there under. So you're under Starfleet Engineering Division. They're under Starfleet Civilian Contingent.
Oh, I had not seen those people. Very good. Thank you. Sabirin Serene. Sabira Serene. Okay.
How you can consider it is that I'm going to let y'all create 5 traits related to stores you have on board. Right now, all 5 of those would be going to would be set by me according to what the UESPA sent the team with. So none of the Starfleet contingent here would get to decide any of the equipment that y'all are going with. So if you want to think of it as they are asking to use all 5 of the auxiliary cargo bays, I guess is how you could say it.
Okay.
Outside of what you need absolutely for the ship to run, they're asking for all of the space.
Okay. So, normal operating procedures with this kind of mission, with this potential 1-year duration, how much cargo space would we usually use with, without a special mission going on?
I think what I know about Revere has only ever been on a UESPA assigned mission while serving on an Archer class. That's not something that he would have done before that because he was serving on a
No, but just as a Starfleet mission, taking the Thralic out for up to a year, how much of that 5 units of cargo space would we normally use? Not even thinking if we didn't have any,
you'd use it all because you could.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, you just fill it. You would bring whatever, because replicators are not a thing in your experience. Like, you are one of 5 ships that have one, 4 of which don't ever leave, side of Vulcan or Earth. You just if a captain was on a Hermes and was assigned. Hermes captains are never going to get assigned a 5-year mission because that's not the type of ship for that mission. But
a year is probably
on a shorter duration mission. Yeah, if they have empty cargo space, they shouldn't if they're just leaving. Because who knows what
you're
they'll
going
run
to
into.
the far side of the world. You put everything you could in your ship.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll probably.
Oh no, I was gonna make a joke. If you need space for turtle soup, you're gonna make that space as you go.
Right. Well, the thing is that on a real ship, you have the weight of the ship determines your fuel consumption, so you don't bring more than you need. But in space, gravity weight isn't a concern, and so we might as well just the ship can physically hold within its bounds.
Well, I don't know. What is are you like a specialist or do you have like a title or just the name? Like mission specialist, supercargo.
She does have a honorary doctorate, but she normally just goes by Sabi or Sabira.
Okay.
But she does have a title. She does have a doctorate from the somewhere. So she's considered an expert in her field.
So because Rhea probably wouldn't be on a first name basis with her right now. It's Sabira first or last?
It's all one. Sabi is her name. Ra's a title. Serene is also a title. It's an Orion thing.
Okay, fair enough. Unfortunately, Doctor, it appears that whoever was coordinating with the Earth organization at Starfleet miscalculated the cargo capacity of the Saladin classes. So we are simply not going to have room to carry all of your equipment and everything that your team and our crew and the ship will need to function properly and survive for up to a year's mission. So I suggest first you cut down your list to must-haves, and then we can work together from there to try and determine as equitable a balance as possible, ensuring both you and your mission and the Thralic itself have enough backups for as possible for unforeseen situations.
I have had the. I'll hold out the. I'll turn around and hold out the pad clipboard to you.
Mm-hmm.
I have marked out some of it already for consideration. I anticipated that there would be bureaucratic complications, so I will pare it down to the must-haves as well as some of my personal goods, and then we can try to maximize ship readiness elsewise. Because I imagine there's going to be a certain level of recovery from field as we traverse space, but it is always good to have some on hand, I imagine. So, I was wondering why you had so much space. I had this very bad sinking feeling that I was being promised the world and was only getting a moon.
Yes, apparently they based their calculations when the ship is on garrison duty with a skeleton crew with no plans to go anywhere far or long. GM, what is the capability of our industrial replicator? I mean, as terms of...
Well, you have... So your crew is particularly adept in its use through your guidance. So you have seen illicitly, but still seen everything from foodstuffs to complex circuits being made. But the official line is still bulk homogeneous materials. Like if you need a replacement floor panel, you can replicate that. Yeah. Or structural members. But there is a lessening gap, but still quite a gap between what you know is capable and what's approved. But you're less constrained by that now. You wouldn't get into legal trouble, but you could still run into the trouble if you do exceed Starfleet's recommendation. You're doing it on your own reputation, and therefore,
Right. But I guess also what I'm asking is...
Things could be... Yeah, go ahead.
If there are any, kind of basic stuff, like, say, for whatever reason, they needed 100 shovels, just bog standard shovels. Yeah, I mean, what can, to help, to work with Sabi Ra to help, thin down, to kind of point out, okay, well, this stuff we can actually make on board. We have a manufacturing facility or whatever, what they call a machine shop. That can turn out shovels without any problem. We've got the raw materials, stuff like that. Like I wouldn't want necessarily to try and do, high tech, bleeding edge tech, sensors or anything, but maybe the casings for something, so that we can further reduce.
So we're not lugging around spare parts or
Right.
expeditionary gear.
Right. Like, wouldn't replicate a tricorder, but, a mineral sample hammer? Yeah.
Reason engineering difficulty 3.
Reason. Engineering. Okay. Replication advocate.
That'll bring it down to difficulty 1.
Okay. I think we'll just, and then main engineering bonus brings it down to 0.
Yes.
But I'll go ahead and give you a threat for bold and to get some, hopefully, more momentum on the board. There we go. 3.
Oh, you gave me a momentum. You gave me a threat.
threat,
For that
right,
first.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. 3 momentum gained. You can cut them down to just their specialized sensors and
Personal items, which I'm sure
computers.
will not come back and bite us in the ass.
Well, most personal stuff is not even part of this contingent. That's stuff that's assigned to personal quarters and
Yeah.
too small to be worried about. But all of their equipment for expeditions and all of the replacement parts for those machines, except the detectors themselves,
Right.
can be easily replicated. So
Bearing
if
in
that's
mind
what you
also
want to do,
Yeah.
I will ask that Sabi Ra give me a trait representing the type of equipment you have brought along, the type of scientific equipment you have brought along, which may help you later. You can assume that general expedition equipment you have and will not be unduly penalized for. And you'll have no difficulty getting replacement parts.
Because we have a magic box.
The big main one is that I'm thinking of is like what I would consider class 4 specialized sensor systems. You know how when you have like a tricorder, that'd be something that's handheld when we think of like hand phasers. So, and I jokingly say that class 4 phaser is basically a laser cannon or laser drill. Likewise, I'm imagining that the expedition may have the big important thing they have is that they must bring along is a massive sensor system that they'd have to beam down to a site and maybe move around a little bit with a grav sled, but really it's meant to sit there and be a massive sensor device with various detection systems for in-depth surveying, looking for the things that we're looking for, especially in the vein of esoteric power sources and transenergetics. The rest is, it's hard to say what else that would jump out, not knowing more of the mission. That's the big thing I think she would have, is that some sort of very sensitive sensor machine that can be used on away missions without using up or tying up the ship's sensor system. And the various parts to modulate it out. And at least one part of it would be part of this is also explaining her merchant ability, where she has a variety of goods that may be useful in a pinch, but that's represented by her by using the ability. So I don't know if that would really be a trait I would fire.
No, we wouldn't cover that here. That's already
Mm-hmm.
there's already a system to cover that.
Yeah. So that's the big trait. It is a system that you can bring along, or
I think it might be more aptly renamed to Mobile Specialized Sensor Suite.
sure, that works for me.
Because what I was thinking of was like a small room almost that can be sent down to a system, and it's got all of the sensors on it, and a couple of people can sit inside of it at a computer bank.
Yeah. Like on the team, we use tricorder, sure, but when it gets to in-depth planet scanning, it's like, we need like very high fidelity sensors that just sit here for hours and hours.
Oh, the planetary structure where terrible things happen to the civilian science team. Yeah. TOS standard.
That was a role I think that was considered for Sabi-Ra was a outpost scientist, because it's an option you can take now.
Oh no,
And
that is what I am.
Explicitly that. Oh, you did take it?
Yeah, I did take it. That's how I have the second trait.
Oh, okay. I got it mixed up. For some reason in my mind I was thinking of it like an assignment, but it's not. It's an environment.
It's your training, like command science.
Okay.
It's civilian outpost scientist. I am that scientist that goes out and does the scary experiments.
An Orion scientist. God, Tindy's going to be so proud of you.
All right. So, Revere, that leaves you and the rest of the Starfleet crew with 4 other cargo bays.
Hooray!
And I won't penalize or otherwise bring up homogeneous materials, structural members, things like that.
Okay, what about basic operational mission supplies? Whatever the heck makes the food synthesizers, the base materials for creating the foods and all that kind of basic running the ship kind of stuff. Do I need to account for that too, or?
No, the food synthesizers just require the ship to be running, and phasers and stuff like that are already in specialized compartments that don't really ever leave the ship.
Okay, so I'm just worried about special equipment, mission specific, or okay, so all the basic stuff.
If you didn't have the industrial replicator, you'd be filling these cargo bays with stuff like that. Yeah, this is the first time Revere's ever run into this question, because the answer before has always been, well, this room's going to be full of supplies for the engine. This room's going to be all structural repair. This is all circuits and replacement computer parts.
Okay, so what do I know about this barren expanse and the SETI Kappa system? What are we likely to run into between here and there?
That pretty much sums it up.
Okay.
Yeah, that pretty much sums up what you know.
Okay. We're connected to the starbase still, or right there, the starbase. So can I do a little...
If you look it up, I'll tell you for free. If you look it up in the computer, it's just empty space, a couple of isolated star systems, and and then a much, much larger expanse of empty space.
Okay, so
The
basically,
thing is, Starfleet has received the UESPA has received reports before, but most of them aren't useful for charting. It's like we ran into some difficulty trying to get to this planet, so we rerouted. But Starfleet looks at the chart and see there's nothing there, and they don't say why they rerouted. So Starfleet think the UESPA thinks there's something going on out there, but no one has ever gone out there for the purpose of surveying.
okay.
So you have like a couple of star systems and mostly empty space.
I will highlight part of the reason I would suspect that me getting chartered to come out here, my expertise is in esoteric power sources. So there's probably a suspicion that something strange is happening out there, whether it's psionic or dimensional or time travel related. It's something odd. Because if it was just like astrophysics, they would bring along an astrophysicist. That's not what I am.
I will correct you.
Oh.
That is what they have done. They have not determined if there is anything like that out there. The team does have many different members with many different disciplines on it. So there is, in fact, the other prominent member who you will run into eventually, Dr. Pinner Barin, is exactly an astrophysicist.
So I was brought along for my asset management and team leading skills.
No, you were brought along for your specialty.
Okay.
Because they might encounter your specialty, but they might encounter other people's specialties too.
Yeah, they really don't know what's out
They
there.
don't know what they're going to encounter.
So everything in the kitchen sink. We'll even bring along the esoteric person. Why? Because it might be that we don't know.
Well, we're going to get one chance to send a well-provisioned ship out for over a year, probably in the next decade. We're not gonna get out there and wish we had the right person.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. Okay, so what about some? I'm assuming that base material for the replicator is also just kind of assumed, or am I assuming?
No, it just needs the work. It just needs the matter-antimatter reactor to be running.
Okay, so it doesn't need basic elements, a stockpile of basic elements to put together.
Nope.
Okay.
They're converted from energy to matter.
Fair enough. Okay. So what about some stellar cartography equipment? Specialized long-range probes, stuff that as we're traveling, we can do some of this surveying that's never been done, and hopefully from a decent distance. I don't know if the probes we generally carry will cover that, or if we need to get some specialized survey drones or survey probes, or if we can just do a trait of stellar cartographic equipment.
We can do the trait UESPA pattern survey probes. So
why are we using Starfleet pattern survey drones? Survey probes.
Because Starfleet generally doesn't take responsibility for surveys yet.
No, Starfleet doesn't do stellar surveying?
They do when UESPA asks them to.
Oh. Okay, well, yeah, I think that's probably a scientific endeavor worth doing. Who knows? Maybe this is what eventually made Starfleet become kind of the go-to for this kind of thing. Let's blaze some trails by doing some mapping.
Mhm.
Our con officer and science officer will love that shit.
Yeah.
Any suggestions from you or other Starfleet people on the other traits you might want?
I'd like to use my ESP ability actually to ask for a hint.
Nice.
This time Corby's using psionics.
If Cybera has a feeling that we really should have something.
Settle down, Deanna.
I'm not empathic, because then I totally would be just dying to try.
I feel that he's angry. What, the Klingon
Gosh.
shouting at us?
Yeah. What? Corbinian playing, doing something with psionics? Say it ain't
What?
so.
First time I played one.
Yep, it's
Yeah.
true.
Oh.
Didn't have talents for it back when I was a player, so
Mm.
the last time I was. Right.
One thing I'm a little bit confused about.
Hmm.
So, okay. I thought it was saying, you can ask for hints, and if you don't like the hint, you can just refuse to give the threat. But what it's saying is, if you can ask,
Mhm.
and if I think there's something, you can give me a threat, and I'll tell you. Or I can say, hey, there's a thing,
Mhm.
and you could say, I don't want to give the threat, so I'll just ignore it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Or if you try and use the ability, you can also, as a GM, go, there's nothing for you here. And then the threat's refunded.
No, there's always going to be background noise.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the wording is such that it's when the GM offers to you. You can always ask for hints. They're just not, but they're not. They're always vague because it's ESP. It's not like well informed.
Mhm.
You learned many times when you had it, I believe.
Yep.
I was like,
Sure did.
I will give you a hint. It is actually helpful.
It's always helpful in retrospect, is the thing. It's always
Yeah, I
like,
was gonna
oh,
say-
this is what happened.
Yeah. I was gonna say. Well. Also, that's sort of the trade-off. Is like, you might get
Yeah.
information from some contact, but how helpful or reliable that is.
I would trust
Yeah,
a well-informed
ESP will
obtain
always give
information
you-
better than ESP. ESP
Oh,
is,
yeah.
is very
Okay.
much a reach into the void and hope something tells you something useful.
ESP is going to tell you something. It's going to tell you something that's probably true. Can your brain interpret that into something that you can make sense of?
Mhm.
You close. As Revere is reading over the manifest, you close your eyes for a second. You see first a luminous blue field, or luminous blue light would be better to say. A light, bright blue. Then you see an old style flashlight that is being actuated to turn on and off, and then you see a soccer ball spinning on a wooden surface. And you have a sense of danger.
Lieutenant Commander, I might suggest that We have some manner of backup power systems, whether on a global starship level or on a personal level, as well as anything that can help us maintain our gravitics aboard the ship as well. And not to ask after classified files or anything, of course, but have you heard any rumors of piracy out in the area? I haven't. I always like to ask every so often about such things.
Not out that far, but certainly we've had our fill of pirates in this quadrant. Always a possibility. So, yeah, let's have some extra dilithium handy and a conversion system. So yeah, let's maybe trait of what we call that, reserve power sources.
Do you want it on a ship scale or a personal scale? On a ship scale, I'm thinking like a independent tertiary power bank. On a personal scale, I'm thinking about an equipment battery bank or something like that.
Would doing both eat up 2 slots? Excuse me.
Yeah, because the kind of energy storage that's efficient for the Starship is not at all useful for handheld equipment.
Okay, so
Like for like what I'm thinking is like for the personal level, you have an entire cargo bay filled with every type of power pack for every type of equipment, and you have like a crate for each, like 20 items for each one. So the ship could be without power for a month, and you'd still have tricorders running.
We'd all be dead.
There might not be anyone to use them. Yes.
I was gonna say, I don't think we'd be allowed to use them.
For the Starship, I'm thinking literally like the class of reactor used on an Archer class is just like closed off as an independent system and installed in the cargo bay.
Right.
So it's like, it's not permanently installed, but it is a large system. And it can be connected or disconnected from the ship.
So I think what I'm going to do now is to call in the old school scientific method version and just start making a list of possibilities, and then maybe we can all put our heads together and choose between the list, because we
actually have there's actually a new scientific method system in 2E.
Yeah,
when I
he's
tried
more
to read
saying,
it, I went blind.
I think he more means just suggesting a list of things and everybody giving their opinion rather than actually using a scientific method, because there's nothing unknown here.
Yeah,
I'm just like, let's come up with some potential options, and then maybe we can put our heads together and go, okay, these 3 seem like probably the most.
I definitely think that reserve power for the ship seems like a really good one. The personal level, I'm kind of so on.
What is personal reserve power in this context? Just like batteries for personal items?
Caffeine.
It's exactly that.
Okay.
Double A for the thing in the nightstand.
It also represents like temporary power sources for individual consoles and stuff. Anything short of powering a starship or a town or a planet or like that. But anything from powering like a little expeditionary comms station all the way down to just a tricorder.
Okay.
So we don't know what's causing ships to
Divert.
turn to vert. Are there reports of ships going missing here? Or is it just diverting?
Yes, and yes.
Okay.
It's not just diverting, but diverting or changing destination are the most common.
hmm And has wreckage been found from any of the ships that went missing? Or are they just flat out missing? If they go missing?
No, no one has gone in search because
Okay.
it's not like Mayday, we're going down. It's like, hey, has anyone heard from the
Never arrived at
the
destination.
the
There you
SS
go.
Stellar Wind or something in the last month? It's like, no, like where do we even start looking?
Right,
Like
yeah,
we
yeah.
can send a starship out there, and they're going to spend 5 years and cover
Right.
1% of the territory that we'd need to survey to find these guys.
Okay, so maybe something like I'm trying to think what would be like a good protective measure for the ship that doesn't fall under the like easily replicatable stuff.
Well, maybe. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, what are the like rare? Are there any obvious rare? I don't say rare earth metals, but rare materials that replicators cannot produce that we should obviously be holding in bulk?
So it's kind of difficult to answer that question because if you're going by what Starfleet says, the only thing you shouldn't be replicating is bulk homogeneous materials.
Right.
You can
Right.
you can replicate a large billet of steel. You can replicate some duranium, right? You're not supposed to be replicating things like circuits or or anything composite that has multiple materials in it. So the list of things that you quote unquote can't replicate is massive, and people haven't yet figured out all the things that you literally cannot do. And the things that you just shouldn't do.
It's too experimental.
In terms of composite materials, does that include things like alloys?
Well, no.
There is as long as the material itself is homogeneous, so an alloy is fine.
A combination of multiple different,
but
like
non-uniform things.
A deck plate's probably not just going to be one.
Yeah, no, it's just
not going to be steel or yeah.
No, but as long as it is a solid billet of an alloy or a single material, it's fine. But replicating
it's effectively it's effectively an instant 3D printer that can work in any material.
Yeah,
as far as we know.
Yeah, we're gonna find out more about it this adventure, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Corby's got a good idea.
Containment, yeah, I like that.
I'll just make sure you run any hazmat protocols by me. I need to be in the know.
Mm-hmm.
And for viewers, Corby's idea was containment and securing systems such as force fields, special hazmat cages, etc.
Science.
Okay, so let me think for a minute about if the ship gets in some trouble. Like, I don't know, stuff to work on, like the containment fields, structural integrity fields.
And I ask, are those the containment security, is that the personnel and mobile level, or is that replacement parts for ship level systems like the entire shield system and all of the ships, like internal force fields and stuff?
I was thinking on a personal level, if we find an object or a creature that requires containment and securing.
Okay, yeah.
So
as long as it wasn't like something, as long as it wasn't something that was like either shields the entire ship or changes how every force field in the ship works.
No.
If it's like, yeah, I get what you mean. Like here's a specialized shield for this instance, and here's a specialized personal force field for this instance.
Here's one of these containment tubes that they like snap energy beings into somehow.
Yeah.
Your notifications.
Good
If
to
we're
know.
going to be out for like a year, we might want to bring some recreational supplies for crew morale.
Oh, some
Yeah.
professional journals.
God.
Do we
Well,
want
there'd
to
be medical
bring?
journals too.
I would take auxiliary crew storage.
Yeah, that makes sense to me because I was also thinking like, yeah, like if you're going away for a long time, maybe there's more stuff you want to carry with you than just what's in your, your bunk and your footlocker. I was also thinking maybe do we want to consider bringing some food or some like spices, whatever, on the case that like people want stuff that's a little bit higher quality than the food replicator can deliver.
Or the protein synthesizer.
Yeah, I mean, my thing with that is like that kind of falls into crew's personal allotment.
I think so too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
because in the series, it's always
Auxiliary
you're
crew
eating whatever
storage.
comes out of the closet in the wall, but then you'll see them in their quarters, cooking up a roux or whatever. Nothing, just a roux. They're just thickening some water.
just a roux. Nothing else.
Just
you
the
said-
roux.
I thought you said cooking up a brew, and I was thinking like a witch or something.
No, we're doing some bootlegging. We're making some Romulan ale on the side.
Right. Again,
Yeah,
that goes
yeah.
under personal equipment.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
you don't have any
unfortunately,
Romulans.
Not
That you know
anymore.
of. That's
Not after last
still-
game.
Yep.
That's
She's
our
still on the
5.
Oh, is she?
I think that's just our list of potentials. Well, the
Okay, so
first two are filled, and the rest are up for consideration.
Wait, how has she not been drummed out of the service after that?
So okay, what about like stuff to
She's
repair
like
specialized
Technically
systems?
done any crime.
I like that. Yeah.
What was that? Sorry.
Stuff to repair specialized systems that we probably wouldn't want to, Duotronic circuit boards or whatever the hell Duotronic computers use. That Duotronic chips are
These Duotronic relays, I think.
Duotronic
Yeah.
relays, and specialized equipment for repairing, shield systems and inertial dampener systems and stuff like that. Stuff that probably with some high rolls and stuff you could replicate, but it'd be better just to have those on hand for the really high tech specialized systems, just like that sensor suite kind of thing.
Extra damage control materials, maybe? That's what it sounds like you're talking about. Damage control systems and material. Because there's some stuff you just can't fix without a port, but we might have the extra parts that we can get it going for now until we get to another port. We may have to repair in situ at some alien spaceport if we're unlucky.
I mean, unless that falls under crap that you would normally automatically stock for a 1-year mission.
But having it as a trait.
No, what I said is all of the stuff you would normally stock, you don't really need to because you have a replicator.
Okay.
That doesn't mean you shouldn't.
Right. Because you always
It just means you don't absolutely have to.
Right.
So no, you don't have any spare I mean, you have a moderate amount of spare materials just because it's responsible to do so, but you don't have a large contingent to handle emergencies.
Like a whole cargo,
Yes.
auxiliary cargo
Like-
bay that's just spare parts.
Yeah. Let's put that on the list for sure.
Mhm.
You know,
What do you want to remove from the list?
well, no,
sorry.
remember,
Putting
yeah,
things on a list and then
Okay.
discussing.
we're just listing and then picking. I think,
Yeah.
out of the potentials. I mean, the first two are definites, and then after that, it's just stuff we're throwing out there to try and pick from.
So
Damage control materials, I guess, or repair materials.
Complex parts.
Damage control materials. There you
I would take damage control materials.
go. Okay.
I would not assume that meant like the large scale, easy replicatable stuff. That
Right.
is specifically the difficult to replicate or unknown to replicate
Right.
stuff.
here's this whole circuit motherboard that you need to
Right.
refit. It's like, could we replicate that? Sure, but it'd be a lot easier just to plug it in and play it and be done with it.
Here's a subspace antenna.
Yeah. Could you build that? Sure, give me enough deuterium and a welder, I could probably
Right.
figure it out, but
It's replicated and it has no data on it. We gotta sit here and load all the programming, or we could just have one that's been programmed and tested in a manufacturing facility.
There's like several crates of data disks with all the random information on it. There's little multicolored things. Okay, the orange ones are engineering.
anything else that anyone can think of that we should consider? I think we hit all the big scary things.
I
Yeah,
agree.
Yes.
and we can only hit so many big scary things.
At a certain point, it turns into we'll make do.
Hmm.
Right.
I agree.
So the question
Okay,
becomes, what 5 are we keeping? They have more ideas than we have space.
So definitely the mobile specialized sensor suite, because that's something needed to accomplish the scientific mission.
Mm-hmm.
The survey probes could be handy and gain us some reputation long term. They also could potentially warn us of dangers at long range. It's always good to have extra power, particularly if you suddenly need to jump start a warp drive, which happens way more often than you would think, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Containment systems are good, and security and containment systems for, I don't know, critters or who knows. Always handy.
Specimens of all kinds.
Mm-hmm.
And then auxiliary crew storage is good for morale and keeping everybody happy working for a year.
Hmm.
Then we
Don't
have
think-
damage control materials, the spare
Yeah.
food and water. Which those two are more things I'm worried about. If, say, there's a catastrophic failure of the replication system, then it's like, whenever you better hope that you have anything to spare. Because people will have
Yeah,
stuff
like-
in the wall, but we're thinking like mass amounts of stuff, of food to, stocking up a ship
Mhm.
at sea, as it were. But all like freeze-dried materials, packets, and things like that.
Right.
Yeah. I would imagine that because we're not depending on the replicator for food and water, we're depending on the synthesizers, that the stores for that are not included in this.
Yeah, pretty much as long as the warp engine's running, he said that's good.
But I'm wondering about a possible catastrophic failure of that, either that system or of your power system. Which I guess if you save the power system, then the synthesizer should still work. But
Yeah.
there may be instances where the synthesizer becomes imperiled.
I think having the damage control plus the backup power
Should cover that.
is redundant enough that I don't think we need specifically spare food and water. That would be my logic.
Because in theory, we could recover that from planets or space stations in the wild.
Yeah.
If we had to, we had to.
Yes.
We go find a Class M, start hunting, start gathering. So that
Assuming
leaves
there is
us with a damage control materials is what above and beyond.
So yeah, that's what it sounds to me like we've got so far. Suites, backup power, sensor suites for the ground mission, backup power, and damage control materials.
Mm-hmm. I quite like crew storage. Just I think it would make things easier.
Yep.
And then I guess my other vote would probably be for either the space probes or the containment and security systems.
Yeah.
I think containment system sounds good because who knows what kind of weird alien species we might find along the way and need to put in a cage.
Yeah, and we do have standard Starfleet probes, so we can still use those to poke ahead if we need to.
Yeah.
So,
GM, are the USPA pattern survey probes especially better? Like, do they have a trait that would give them an advantage over Starfleet probes?
They are a trait. The Starfleet probes aren't one.
Okay.
They work like what they say, but now when you use a probe, you can use this trait, and we can adjudicate at the time how that makes them better. But they are better.
Which between myself and your executive officer, we should be able to finagle what we need at the time.
Mm-hmm.
We might be able to make up that difference through skilled personnel. One hopes, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, we're Starfleet. It's kind of the whole shtick.
Mm.
So what I put in Discord is that now the correct thing? Oh no, y'all
didn't go for the survey probes.
yeah.
You dropped this since you dropped that for the
Reserve the backup power, whatever we were calling that.
Ship scale backup power. Yeah.
Yeah.
The tertiary reactor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks good to me.
Okay. Yep.
And
Without knowing what we're going into.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you a I'll offer ESP.
I'll take it.
You feel a sense of you feel like you're not in danger of death from what was felt before, but you haven't handled it either.
Okay, so we need a cargo bay full of a Spanish football team.
Yep, that's what it sounds like to me. I mean, hey, that will probably help with the crew morale too.
It's true.
There is I feel we've prepared thoroughly going over the list, but it's got this niggling bad feeling. The danger that I'm not predicting. Okay? Not sure how to advise you first.
Does any of the things that we discussed and that we didn't put on our final lists give you any better feelings about things?
My instinct tells me that we're not in danger of death, but there's not we haven't quite grasped what it is that I'm feeling, sensing. My visions can be a little hard to parse. They come and go. The most I could advise is...
Hares kind of looks up from his station.
Like, wait, vision?
Quirks his head.
Yet Revere's just professional enough to let that slide. I'd say something about Delphic, but I'm not from Earth.
There is... We've lessened the danger to a certain degree, I think, but I think we need to be prepared for whatever may be imperiling ships that are going out there. My instinct's telling me that we're not quite braced for it yet. Which, I guess the only way to know more is by going out. One cannot cower within atmosphere in hopes that the stars won't hurt you.
A ship in port is safe, but that's not what ships are for.
Nod. GM, could I attempt some sort of like finance and asset management focus type role to try to squeeze another bit of space somewhere on the ship? Like not through like our auxiliary ports, but like, well, if people start storing stuff in their closets, finding like an extreme measure that could get us just that little inch more space. Or tonnage space, I suppose, is quite a bit.
One day I've got to bolt a shuttle bay onto this thing.
That's what you get for being small. Mind you, the USPA was not willing to fund a Constitution class to help us with this, but
I correct you. Solaris has yet to do it, but Solaris can request up to 6 scale of ships. That was a word given out that has not been used.
I don't pretend to predict the ways of the Commodores and the flag officers. That is beyond even the mysteries of the universe. For all we know, she just wants a massive barge full of violins. I don't know.
I've seen that before. It was before the war. It was weird.
Call them
I'll
analog
give
harmonics.
Insight, command, difficulty 2.
On that focus?
Yes.
I'll throw a moment. Good thing I did.
You've had some time now to go on a couple of shorter duration expeditions with Starfleet, and they do like to stock up on what might be described as an unnecessary amount of torpedoes, which are essentially solid metal casings with a small computer and a lot of antimatter. The ship already carries some of that for fuel. It already has this new replication technology that's good at simple materials. If you could convince them to only store the guidance computers and then as needed replicate the casings and siphon off antimatter from the fuel system, you could probably clear up another 3 bays.
Hashtag don't trust the GM.
Sabira...
You asked for an extreme measure. That would clear up a lot of space. Because this is a Hermes, it's built around an excessive torpedo system.
Cyber will write it out on a pad and go, well, I can think of one area you could expand space on. As I draw up my math and how I think it works and showing...
Now that is something that you will have to get clearance from the Commodore for. And remind me to buy popcorn when you talk it over with Kaufman.
Well, we're all on the same side here, after all. I'm sure the pursuit of knowledge and truth trumps any sort of military flexing that Starfleet may feel to require as a peacekeeping force.
I mean, you're standing on the deck of a destroyer, but sure.
Well, that's the Commodore's choice. Why she doesn't use a Constitution is beyond me.
I'm not saying don't talk to her, but I'm just saying that's not a call I can make, I'm afraid.
Okay. So do I set that Can I set that appointment up through you, or because I don't think the executive officer is readily available?
Oh, doesn't she have a yeoman?
We will.
Yes, she has a yeoman.
Fast forward a bit as Solaris, a few hours from now, a request will come across your desk suggesting the disassembly of the ship's torpedoes to gain significant storage space.
Okay, what does this proposal entail? How many torpedoes are they removing?
All of them.
And what is all of them?
But we get 3 extra tonnage slots.
Yeah, 3 extra cargo bays by taking out the guidance computers, putting them all in one cargo bay, one like storage bay, and then whenever you need torpedoes, you're going to replicate the casing, fill it with antimatter from the matter antimatter reactor in engineering, and then slap the guidance computer back on.
Yeah, no. The captain, if this proposal is in person, we can play it out, but if it's just on a pad, she's just going to reject it and keep going on with her day.
Well, that's why I did it like this, because
Okay.
Unless Sabi is willing to pull out all the stops and wants a like personal conflict resolution, I didn't feel like it was gonna get approved. But if Sabi wants to follow up, I will say that you get back that your request was rejected. So now you would have to personally meet with them to follow it up.
Yeah, she'll want to personally meet with the Commodore. She has a bad feeling, and it hasn't been assuaged.
All right.
All right,
Lieutenant Commander, I believe this is everything that we can do at this level. The rest goes further up the chain of bureaucracy and requisition, so... hopefully I can argue a Vulcan into do something somewhat illogical. I'm gonna need to drink before I talk to her.
Just be sure to use a breath mint. Her sense of smell is astonishing.
I have a good scent management system. I should be fine.
Good luck.
Thank you, Lieutenant Commander.
And I will message the Commodore as a what is my trait? A trusted friend of Solaris. just a message out of nowhere. As soon as she walks away, before the appointment has, it's like, don't let them take away our torpedoes. No context, just that message out of nowhere. And then I'll crawl up a Jeffrey's tube to
hide,
do something.
Like my answer back.
Or hide.
all right. We go to the annual gathering of the Yellow Shirts, also known as
Not
planning the
Club.
ship's navigation.
Oh.
Yeah, we only do that once a year.
As Griffin, little is known about the region. So right now, out of kind of exasperation, your navigator has handed you a straight line course.
Yeah.
But you might be able to review some of the long range data to get a better guess. Unfortunately, there has been a few minor legal mix-ups with crew members, and Ivanov is currently planetside trying to get who is reasonable to get out of jail for drunkenness and disorderly conduct out of jail before y'all leave, sparing the Commodore that task.
That's awfully nice of him.
But you don't have the head of the science department. You could call someone else from the science department up.
I think that would be a good idea, yeah. Taking a look at who we've got in the science department.
Well, and you're going to need someone to play them, so you might suggest someone. Choose someone.
Yeah.
Go for it, Doctor, because you're not in the scene.
Yeah, sure. Which one am I taking?
Someone in science, other than Ivanov.
Yeah, and probably not Tamar.
Oh, wow. I see how it is.
Well, I'm looking at focuses.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what focuses do we need for this?
Competent
Competent ones,
Thank
yeah.
you.
You're welcome.
Sensor operations or pathfinding feel like they could both be useful here. So Suzuki or Zeva, I think, could work. So take your pick.
Oh yeah, I see.
Does either Solaris or Griffin have a favor with Suzuki?
Yeah.
So you can have him in the scene without spending crew support.
Technically, I have favors with both of them. So I have a favor with Suzuki and with Zeva.
I'd say it might be a good idea to do Zeva so that we can get another activation.
Not a terrible
Yeah, that
idea.
on
works.
the books. Because Zeva doesn't have any talents and not going to get any talents until start.
Cool.
You walk into a room full of people with yellow shirts and have to remind yourself, this is not a court-martial.
Yeah.
God.
4 of the people in here are not above the rank of lieutenant.
We call this hazing.
Yeah, no. I told everyone to put on all their medals so that it would look a little bit more.
Everyone's
official.
in formal dress.
Yeah. Look, the power's really gone to Gwen's head. She's gotten up 1 promotion. It's just like, well, I can do anything now. All right. So we can plot kind of whatever course you want here, Commodore, but that's a void out there as far as any charts are concerned. Lieutenant, I don't know if there's anything you can glean from our sensor data or the stations that helps us out at all. But lacking that,
I'll show you the current plan is just follow that line.
Good plan.
well, if we do that, we can basically put my department on holiday for a couple weeks. The ship can fly itself at that point.
I wouldn't recommend that.
So we know quite literally nothing about where we are heading.
We know that people don't tend to keep going there. They turn back around. Can I make some sort of roll to pinpoint whereabouts people turn
You
around?
can. This'll be reason con. Difficulty 4.
All right.
Because the more you look at it, the less you're confident of the answer.
Cool.
Oh, GM Fiat. I'm gonna let you owe me 3 rep. I think you were supposed to get rid of the trait provisional officer before getting promoted.
Oh, okay.
Because it doesn't make sense anymore. And
Cool.
that was a negative. I think that was a negative trait.
It was a neutral trait, I think, but like edging towards the negative. So I will.
Do you remember if you took it from negative rep or if?
No, I got
was
it from Maverick promotion.
Okay, then you don't owe me anything.
Okay. Can just remove it.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Let's see, difficulty 4, you say, and my reason is not the best. My con is the best. Navigation is a focus.
Yes.
All right. Let's spend.
And if someone wishes to assist with the navigator, they could.
Yeah. Someone wants to grab tonic. I'll spend
Sure.
Which will cost a crew support.
2 momentum
It would, yes.
and a threat to roll 4 dice here.
Do you need it?
We'll see.
I meant the crew support, not your momentum spend.
They may need it. They're 1 short right now.
Yeah, I am currently 1 short.
Okay.
So need a assist from me or?
If you
It could be
Kalinic?
from anyone, but this was a roll about navigation.
Yeah, so I
so it'd
think
be a con roll.
Plank would
Okay.
make the most sense if someone wants to roll.
Sure. What's the roll? What con?
Reason con.
con.
Oh, is the ship
Okay.
helping at all?
I don't think so because this is
No, it's not actually navigating the ship. This is y'all looking over the charts.
Would that be computers con though?
If the ship was rolling, but the ship's not rolling.
Yeah, the ship's not rolling. Also, I think this is kind of Griffin just knowing this, not looking it up.
Mm-hmm.
It could be,
So-
but you.
Not necessarily, yeah, but could be.
I
looked it up
could
and
see an
remembering it.
assist from the ship because you are correlating data.
All right.
Okay.
Worth a shot.
So stellar cartography or astronomy?
Stellar cartography.
Let me see if Kalinic can pull out an assist. Nope.
Zeva, you want to roll an assist here at all?
It would cost 1 momentum, but you can.
We still do have a momentum.
Really?
Con. Yeah. I mean, we need the hit, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
I
can
do
she
need it.
roll
I can-
science if she's assisting with her scientific knowledge of the region?
No, because
No, this is a con thing.
There
Okay.
there
Okay.
isn't
Worth a
really
shot.
detailed scans of the region.
Okay.
Here we go. Nope.
Nope.
Yeah. Yeah. I just got.
all right.
I was.
I'll give you a success at complication.
Sure, I'll take it.
Cool.
Well, like to hear the complication, but I think I'll take it.
Okay, well, at least Telenet got activated, so
True.
start boosting them up.
Markdown.
We got it
Yeah.
on a. So what's the deal with the Commodore being able to request up to scale 6? What's that?
Well, y'all got like Revere got his trait upgraded. I think Griffin got promoted. Solaris is thinking what rewards Solaris might get, and like the 10th fleet growing and her getting more responsibility felt like the thing to do.
Yeah, I just forgot about it before this game.
You could buy a Connie.
Oh yeah, did we ever get the ship trait that I tried to spend rep for?
Never.
Cool.
I do
Scale
not know.
6. You could get a Federation class.
I suggested layered structural integrity fields for a ship trait
Ooh.
off of my rep roll from back
Oh.
then.
That's nice.
Yeah, I see it.
Yes, you can add
Weird.
that to the ship.
Cool.
All right. I've revealed a couple of points where there seems to be some region where when people cross or move into that region, they have changed course. And you've noted a couple of different spots that's happened.
And our job is
Called
not to study the area; it's to move through it. So we should just avoid. Yeah, our obligation is to make it to the SETI Kappa system. So if these are the spots, then we should go around them.
Yes. Well, so the entire phenomena, what's going on in the region, is what they're interested, but they have assumed that whatever it is going on, the source of it or the truth of it is at SETI Kappa 6 because it's the epicenter. Like y'all are on one rim of these phenomenons, but they see a large area being affected, and that seems to be at the center. So you could say that yes, part of your job would be to survey along the way, but they've kind of pointed out the ultimate goal would be to survey that system because it's at the center.
Yeah, at that point, we can forward along Lieutenant Griffin's observations about navigation through here to Starfleet, but our job is our job.
Might
Yeah, so it looks like people turn back around these
the
marks.
Helna system.
We can try and navigate around those positions, but I don't know if there's anything there to be aware of necessarily.
It will add some amount of time to our journey, but we might as well be cautious and navigate around them. Otherwise, without proper sensor data, I do not know what other precautions or informed navigational choices we could make.
Probably should have taken the fancy probes.
Like we need the space for them.
Yeah. Looks like we could have less torpedoes, I guess.
What if we strap them to the exterior of the
is this
ship?
line something close to Griffin's alteration?
Yeah.
What we need is a Ptolemy class to go with us.
You could have had a Constitution pre-built for a 5-year mission, but no, we wanted the ship It's literally just for shooting torpedoes.
Well, yeah, it's fun.
Mono nacelle for the win.
Exactly.
Why? I changed maps, but the blue line stayed me.
Oh, still there. I don't know how you did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Wait,
you
it
went
stayed
away.
for you too?
Yeah, we can see it. It's there.
It is.
Yeah,
Just on the senior personnel quarters map?
yeah. Right here.
How?
I don't know. I don't know how you could. Oh, there it
Oh.
goes.
Oh, you got it.
I deleted it, but there's
Esoteric
some esoteric things
lines.
going on. All right.
Truth is out there.
So yeah, Griffin, you
Dun.
find a couple of points where people have seemed to turn back and make some minor alterations.
Trade.
Well, Commodore, that's the best course we can lay in for now. I'd recommend that we make course adjustments slightly more frequently than we would along a well-charted route. But other than that, I think we have a preliminary course laid in.
Yes. I would like you and the entire comms department to be at the top of your game during this procedure. I want routine navigational checks, and I'm giving you full authority to adjust our course so long as our end goal remains the same, as you are the ship's resident expert and foremost authority on all affairs related to navigation.
Well, thank you, Commodore.
She nods her head. Is there anything else?
I can give you some preliminary estimates on our arrival times, but I honestly wouldn't trust those estimates right now. So,
What is your
I don't think so.
estimate?
Griffin will know like how long this would take at cruise speed, but I don't.
Speed of plot.
Exactly.
At cruise speed with no stops, 6 months.
On
Which
paper,
you
6
can
months.
count.
I'd estimate
You
more
can
like
count
7.
on. I was about to say you can count on 0 fingers the number of times you've been on a ship that stayed at work for 6 months straight.
Challenge
Exactly.
accepted.
Realistically, assuming we don't run into any mission critical encounters or long-term stops, I would say 7 to 8 months before our arrival.
Understood. I do not expect that to occur. I would factor in at least some delay, giving us an approximate arrival time of 10 to 11 months.
Well, nobody make any babies.
I mean, we can
the-
do a year basically.
The captain like considers for a moment and then says, "No, that was not in my plans for this trip."
One never plans for such.
And we'll just kind of blink at
People
that.
plan for these things all of the time.
Ah.
So like our cruising range is about a year. Like, so if you're talking about 11 months out, then we're not going to be back before we start really running out of stuff with that route.
You
I
definitely
mean,
want
assuming
to.
we find.
We'll have to restock at our endpoint.
Yeah, but the problem is we don't know what our endpoint looks like if we're going to be able to restock there.
Correct. That's why on paper this works because it's 6 months
Right.
there and 6 months back.
Um,
Sorry, I'm not there. I just was.
Fleet Lieutenant. I mean, you can say you can speak as Fleet Lieutenant Vorov or Yeoman Hero, noting those are both within their job titles to know those kinds of things.
This doesn't cost activation for a character to say things. It only activates if they roll.
Yeah, I would only charge you if you rolled.
Yeah, so the Fleet Lieutenant will point out that route probably puts us well beyond our cruising range. Although I'm sure, Carmador, we could eke out some extra time, but that looks like we're talking, almost a doubling of our standard cruising range.
With what we know about the planet, is expecting at least some restock on SETI Kappa 6
I'll tell you everything you know about SETI Kappa 6.
Okay,
And that's everything you know.
great.
It is called SETI Kappa 6.
Okay,
Yeah, which is not an informative name. That is, we go down the list of Greek letters and name all the things we don't know what it is.
mhm.
And when we go there, someone will name it like, I don't know, Soloris's World or something, or Thralic
God.
Place, or something, who knows.
Mhm,
But
mhm.
the place where Revere died, who knows. But right now it has just a generic star chart name.
Are you telling me this isn't a planet that's one giant college fraternity? I'm so disappointed. Okay.
Oh.
So if we don't know anything about. Okay,
That would
then.
require it having 3 Greek letters.
Oh. Sorry, I'm not cultured enough to know these things. Okay.
So another thing to consider, and this is through the mouthpiece of Shinai, is that we may encounter. We may want to be on the lookout for spacefaring or work-capable species along the way that we could trade with, or the other traveling spacing ships that we may be able to trade with as we go. Because that way we can extend our range beyond our normal. Because our operational capacity is based on just us going out on our own, but we could restock if we find a good port to pull from. Or worse, getting finding a Class M planet and recovering what we need. Or not even a Class M, like a Class D for raw materials, that sort of thing. So that may be something we want to consider on the way. If nothing else, even if we don't pick it up on the way there, we know there's restocking points on the way back.
Yes.
So-
Can I do an insight command check to infer what are the resources we are most likely to run out of? Like what is our primary bottle cap here? Is it dilithium? Is it what is the resource that we only have a year's supply of?
The ship is designed with 1 year of antimatter, 1 year of like the synthesizers are rated to run continuously for a year. And you have a couple of spare parts. It's not that there is a bottleneck, it's that the entire ship is designed around 1 year. So at about 13 months, everything is gone. Because there are some things that you need more of, so they got more space,
Mhm.
right? but it wasn't haphazardly put together. It is all designed around about a year.
You start going
Okay.
beyond warranty after a certain bit, where now you're going beyond the ship's specs after a while.
But with our engineering crew and
Oh,
our
and
team,
I will
Mhm.
clarify this, because this would be, I wouldn't even require a roll for Dolores because she's commanded one of them before. The archers aren't anywhere close to that. Their supplies, they need frequent resupply. They don't have a replicator, and
are we bringing one with us?
that was the plan UESPA requested, though you can deny that part. You couldn't scrap the whole mission without causing a lot of consternation within Starfleet, but you could scrap parts of it. But
Mm-hmm.
with all this in mind, I will give you or the fleet lieutenant an insight or reason command, difficulty 3.
Okay. Insight command. This is a stretch, a focus in diagnostics. We are trying to diagnose the problems with this mission
No.
at current. Okay.
No.
A trait of a renowned Starfleet officer. I have a lot of leverage. Well, this isn't using that leverage. This isn't figuring out the problem. You said difficulty 4?
No, 3.
3. Okay. All right. I'm gonna spend 1 threat and 2 momentum, and I'm gonna roll. Fleet lieutenant, an assist might be needed here. Yeah, it looks like an assist might be needed.
Oh, we're doing great.
Okay,
I'm
so
gonna
this
let the
will-
comp. I'm gonna let the comp stand because I think it'll be interesting.
Well, then you've
This
already
will-
succeeded.
Okay.
You had only asked for an assist if you wanted momentum.
that saves us an activation too.
All right.
You could use a fast fleet tender, a merchant ship specifically outfitted to work as a fleet cargo vessel. The problem is
Ptolemy class.
the ones you have access to in general are all busy jumping between Earth and Andromeda because civilians still aren't excited to come out here. They still see Orion pirates behind every star, even if they're not there. So your best chance of getting one is to wait 6 months for the shipyard to be finished and build one. So that's the complication. Is the solution to all your problems is a scale 4 freighter, and the complication is that it would take 6 months to a year to get one.
Weird. I was told that acceptance was the solution to all of my problems.
So, barring that, it would that would mean all the archers. The most they could do is the preliminary, like, bloom into the unknown space, study as much as they can, and then turn around, and come back to Andromeda.
Yeah, they could go out there for probably 2 months, because then they're going to have to come back for 2 months. They're going to have to spend 2 months coming back. So they could travel with you for a little while.
Yeah, she's going to say, failing a requisition of a freighter, which I do not think we are going to receive on the timeline we have, given the uncertainty of the situation. I believe our only option is to And you can see, like, in her eyes, she's not hiding her, like, frustration and resignation with this. Cut our support ships go. So they will...
And before,
Mhm.
just to clarify, in case I misunderstood, I didn't say you couldn't have it, and that you had that the waiting was basically just saying no, you can't have it. You can still have it. You just also get to eat whatever the reputational complications are going to be from waiting.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't think Solaris is too duty bound to like return to her superiors and wait for a year. So yeah,
I just wanted to make sure you didn't think that I was saying
No.
I was
Yeah.
rephrasing
Okay.
no.
Yeah, no, I kind of figured that. But yeah, she's going to say,
Oh, well. One idea you
Yes?
could do, Commodore, is start the commission, get the making done, and if as our support ships hang back, eventually the supply ship will get to them. They meet up with the supply ship, and they can escort the supply ship to meet us, so that can help augment our return as well. So a sort of reinforcement after we've left.
That would solve the issue of the return trip quite neatly.
What was
I will say that
but
on the timelines that I've given, you would expect the freighter to be finished and in commission about the time y'all got back from your mission, unless y'all stuck out there longer. Because y'all estimated, if we were estimating 6 months out, 6 months back, it's about 6 months to finish the Star Yard and about 6 months to finish the freighter.
But there was some forecasting of it taking 11 or 10 months, and that's where we started. That's how this whole conversation got started, because we started for the main ship.
If you're thinking, okay, when I was hearing 12 months, I thought you were talking about the whole thing. You're talking about 12 minutes to get to the destination, so the ship will be finished by that time, and it could meet you halfway on the journey back or something.
Right, because if we end up taking even on the slower but still fast-ish end, if it takes like, say,
7 months there, 7 months back, then that's still 14 months, which gives them plenty of time to get the ship and move somewhat closer towards us.
Yeah, like that.
Can I ask, what was our, if theoretically we had traveled on a straight line, what was our travel time?
6 months.
Straight line there is 6 months. That's no stopping. That's just
right.
So it's definitely going to take longer.
That's at a cruising speed of warp 6, because that's the max cruise speed of the Archers. If you drop the Archers, you drop about a month on each end of that journey, because you're now at a cruise of warp 7.
So 5 months, best case scenario each way. That's best case scenario. So longer than that. So forecasting, worst case scenario, you're talking 10 months there, 10 months back. Because I can't imagine it taking more than our best speed again.
So yeah, we're thinking avoiding the dangerous regions of space. Say we don't.
Right now, what you know about the dangerous regions doesn't really change you from straight line. It's almost still a straight line course.
Okay, so basically the only change there would be dropping the Archers as far as speed goes, or length of journey.
If we are spending so long out there that we require a ship to meet us after 14 months, something likely has gone wrong and we will need a rescue ship anyways. I don't think it would be quite worth the bureaucratic effort to have a ship take a year to be assembled, a year to be brought here, only a half year to be prepared, a half year to be brought out, only to meet us just as we are returning to the station. I believe we will have to go through this alone.
Even going through it alone, Commodore, we still are pushing against operational tolerances to a degree.
Without some way to
We
resupply or assure our journey, our calculations are best case scenario. If we have to turn, if we find a new hazard, we're looking at going beyond our operational window, and no amount of good flying makes up for that.
I don't think Revere would want me piloting this ship at warp 8.
I'll point out, Solaris, so far,
Mhm.
you might have ruled out a freighter, but you could pull from Starfleet's actual vessels.
Okay. If I can requisition another ship with my 6 points to come along with us, that would be very useful.
It would have to be a ship with enough cargo capacity that it could actually extend the operational
It's fine.
range
Ptolemy class.
of the expedition. Yeah, Ptolemy class.
Fortunately, for whatever reason, I don't think they've actually statted that one out.
Damn.
I mean, fundamentally, it's
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
the saucer section
With a big tube.
with a big tube and 2 engines.
Or Sydney. That's a dedicated cargo type vessel.
If that would allow us to bring our support ships with us, then it's definitely worth it.
I guess the question is, does that also run into the problem of needing to wait for it to be built?
Mm-hmm.
No, that complication is with anything that would have the trait freighter or a similar trait.
Sydney's not till 2279.
Yeah, I just saw that.
What is our sail? 3?
4.
4.
You know, no, I think reasonably we would probably be looking at like a Ptolemy class in this era.
Arnold Antares.
Mm-hmm.
Antares could work, yeah.
I mean, that's your.
Aren't Antares freighters? Or am I mixing them up with something else?
Because
Yeah.
we're looking for scale 3. Is that
Anything within scale
Well-
6.
Yeah.
I thought the GM said anything with the keyword freighter would take too long.
So we
Anything
have-
with the keyword freighter is subject to the complication of needing to be built.
Mhm.
Okay.
And the Antares would
And,
probably
and
have
I
that.
don't know what actually. I don't remember all of them, so I'm saying similar to freighter. But if it has a trait, if its primary trait is something like
It's
Federation,
primarily a
Starship,
cargo
fine.
ship, yeah.
Yeah.
So that would probably nix both the Antares and the Ptolemy.
if we're looking for a scale 3, there's the Pioneer.
I mean, the Antares' main trait is Federation Starship. If that's what we're going off of.
Which is the Antares.
Page 128 in the Utopia Planitia. It's that one cargo ship that ever shows up in Star Trek.
Mhm.
Yeah, it only shows
This
up in
thing.
8 in the animated series, the first one.
Yeah.
Okay. By acknowledging it as a cargo ship, you've answered your question.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, its first suggested thing is civilian merchant marine. It is subject. I would say that it is
Okay.
subject to the complication from earlier.
So that's why I need a Ptolemy, because that's actually a fleet tender.
Ooh, Pioneer could be good. Pioneer centered around patrol surveillance and logistics, intended to supplement and support the larger Constitution class.
Is it in?
It's page 9 of the game toolkit.
Oh
Oh, good lord. Fucking Modifius. Got to make that money.
Mm-hmm.
I do have that, though, because I
don't think I do have that.
I don't
gave
either.
Modifius money. I do have it on PDF, too, I think, so I could send it if we needed.
Taking a look at it might be good.
The trick that we have to be careful of is that anything that would be normally logistics or quartermaster, it sounds like those have all been nicked by the complication. Anything, we have to go outside the box if we're getting a ship.
No, if it has weapon systems and is normally crewed by Starfleet exclusively for the purposes of multiple Starfleet mission types, then it's fine. If it is, if its primary
Dedicated.
selling, if its primary function is cargo space, then yes, it's nixed.
But that seems to be
That's
sort of.
Game toolkit, there it is.
Winchester. You're saying we can't have one of these beautiful looking Ptolemies?
Look at Ptolemy's. A Ptolemy is basically like an inverted constitution, right? That pulls things between the
Yeah.
pylons.
She posted a picture. Does that count?
I mean, its thing is it is an armed fleet tender, and it's able to switch out its pods for whatever. But I don't think it's actually been statted, although it's
Yeah, we'd have to
canonical.
stat it.
Page 9.
I just happen to be a big fan of the Pioneer class design, but that's just me.
Yeah, they gave you a real sneaky picture of it that doesn't show how ugly it actually is. But
Mm-hmm. So true. Like at some angles, Pioneer class looks all right.
yep.
That's what the deal.
Actually, what was the one from that set that I really liked? The Ranger class, that was the one that I really liked.
Rangers aren't bad.
That's a good
Yeah.
question. What year is it?
2241. It's fine.
No.
No,
in game.
no.
Oh,
What is the year in game?
Put the Pioneer up in the chat.
The most you gave is like late 20 something 60s or something like that. We haven't nailed down the.
Well, no,
for a
we
while.
started in 2260.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been at
And
least a year.
It's been at least
more than a year.
4.
Yeah.
It's been about 4, I think.
Oh, so we could also get the Miranda. Like brand spanking new Miranda.
There's already Mirandas that they've already shown up in the last fleet action.
I would love
what
a
I was
Miranda
trying
personally, but you know.
What I was trying to determine if the Space Canoe was available yet, but I
Gilbert.
think
It's not. We're still like a couple years
2269.
out.
Yeah, I think you're a
2269.
couple of. I think
Yeah.
you're a
Believe
couple
me, if
years
it was
out.
available, I would have thrown that at Corby.
Oh yeah, no. That would have been great.
I ran a game once that was set in like 2270 and like
Brand new.
yeah, it was like a brand new top of the line ship that they were trying to keep out of the hands of the Romulans.
So the last thing we had for a year that was but from you, Winchester, was late 2260, but it never got any more specific than.
We might be able to have it then.
Yeah, we were definitely still playing early Andromeda for 2260.
Probably what,
we
2264?
I'm thinking 65 by now.
Okay.
I'd have
more
to
years.
re-go and calculate it up. But I know there have been, I think, 3 full year skips
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, our options, Miranda is now on the table.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
what
that was
is
one of our
everyone
options when we were
thinking?
playing.
We're looking for something that has
Enough cargo capacity and logistics that it can extend our squadron's operational range.
Yep.
Hmm.
Yeah, the last update I have on my timeline shows us in 2265.
So would that be an engineering thing, or a con thing, or a command thing?
To do what?
Uh,
To account for
logistics.
storage logistics.
It's a mission profile, I believe.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ah.
Um,
Where is that located?
In the book.
it's going to be in Utopia Planitia.
Oh,
He said
it's one from that. Okay, that's what I meant. Is it a?
Mm-hmm.
Like every ship, like our ship is a flagship, scientific and
Right,
survey, crisis and emergency.
There's civilian merchant marine, but those would
All the civilian ships are.
be the ones that are difficult for you all to get your hands on. The one you're looking for is logistical quartermaster. As long as it
Yeah.
has that, it's going to solve the problem y'all are looking at. Which is a mix of command and engineering. Because logistical quartermaster gives 3 command and 3 in engineering.
So Miranda with a logistical quartermaster profile will be able to
pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty big because the Antares is the kind of the small fry. Let's do some shipping from a station to a planet to a station to a planet. Like it's meant for short trips. But Miranda set up for that could follow along with the archers, supply them, and then if things get hairy, it can last being out. It can last being out in the water for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And you could, if you wanted to get maximum value, you could pair your logistical Miranda with a 5th archer, because that's about all you're going to get for skill 2.
Huh. Wait. I'm looking at ship creation stuff on the character creator, and they do have a Ptolemy class.
Oh.
I wonder, they might be sourcing that from continuing mission.
They might be, yeah.
That's my guess.
How do we
If
feel about
Miranda works, I would rather use that because it would be
same.
easier for me
But-
to manage.
Yeah, I say the logistics Miranda makes the most sense to me.
Mm-hmm. I'm doing a quick build of that to sketch out right now.
Don't worry about it, y'all. We'll get into it next episode. We'll assume that it will meet y'all sometime during the early stages of the mission, but it's not going to start the mission with you. Do you want to use the extra scale, 2 scale that you have for another archer, or do you want to hold on to that? It's a question primarily for Soloris.
I think 3 archers is plenty. That gives us 4 support ships.
You have 4 right now.
Yeah, 4 support ships. The 3 archers. We have 4 archers right now?
You've had 4 archers for almost the entire campaign.
Oh, right, because I'm sorry, I wasn't counting the one
Andromeda?
we used to be on. The
Yeah.
Andromeda, yes. Sorry.
Poor Inverni.
No, I wasn't counting it because I associate it so much with our ship. Anyways. Yeah, okay, so we have 5 support ships. I think that's plenty for now, and we can save those 2 for later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that would give the Miranda, theoretically, yeah, that groups us into 3 groups of 2. Yeah, I think that works.
Everybody starts packing up their pads and data files as Fleet Lieutenant has to scrounge together a entire Miranda from vague IOUs that Solaris has gotten. And Griffin has to contemplate being replaced by a computer.
Yep.
If I can find who I'm looking for.
Don't worry, Griffin. It's the M5 project.
Oh no!
Oh.
No!
Oh,
no!
yay.
No!
I do. Yeah, the Miranda looks good in any style, in my opinion. But the TOS one is good.
Yeah, it's one of the few times where I think it makes a TOS expanded universe ship that actually looks nice, not just like a butchered Connie.
Yeah, no, it's like that's a Miranda class before it received a retrofit.
It feels like it can be canon.
Commodore, you're walking with a pad to your quarters when you find yourself cornered. As you look up to see Cien, but then you turn around hearing one of the civilian scientists calling after you.
Commodore, if I could have a word with you real quick regarding the requisition I sent up.
Yeah, Solaris stops and then turns on her heels, and she says, "I do not believe we have been properly acquainted. I am Commodore Solaris, as you clearly know. You are,
Sabira Sarin.
yes, one of the UESPA scientists.
Yes.
You,
Cien speaks up and says, "A well-accredited one."
yes, you. Yes. What do you need from me?
Well, if we could, it may take a bit longer than a quick word. We could speak in an office or in your quarters as you feel more comfortable, unless you anticipate a quick judgment.
The briefing room we just left should be empty for the next few minutes. And she kind of looks at the pad and she says, "I can afford you 5 minutes of your time." This back over here.
Cien goes to speak up as you start walking and says, "I find no reason our quarters will not suffice."
As you wish.
As I guess we find out that pushover is a full active trait.
Oh.
Which one am I supposed to delete?
Happy wife, happy life, man.
Yeah, but that statement gives no advice how to handle this situation.
Solaris is half in the bag and seeing double.
As you both sit down, Cien will say, "Tea?"
I'll take any citrus one you may have, ma'am.
She doesn't seem to wait for Soloris, as she seems to already know the answer.
Mhm.
And she returns shortly with 2 glasses. And
Yeah, she
sits in the chair
appreciatively.
nearby, inviting herself into the conversation.
Yeah, she, accepts the drink happily and then says, "Yes, well, I would appreciate it if we could move quickly on this. I do have many things to attend to, especially with our recent adjustment of plans."
Well, that's exactly what I'm concerned with as well. Readjustment of plans for our mutual success. Despite the... I will, thank you, Commodore. Despite the bureaucratic miscalculations, Starfleet Command, your chief engineer and I have found ways to get mission-critical material gathered and backup systems. However, through my sensitivity to certain extrasensory manifestations of reality, I have perceived that we are heading toward danger. Now, we've made some measures to alleviate that danger, to prepare for it, to make it not as lethal. However, it does feel as though we are missing a component that will preserve us from that danger. So, I do not think torpedoes will save your fleet from danger. I think we have something else we need to ensure that we come back from it. And I don't wish you to think I am some woo-woo spiritualist staring into a bowl hoping that all will go well. I also have my own personal spacing experience when it comes to deep space exploration. Under preparation can kill the best crew. No matter how much money you may have or how much resources you have. If you don't have the right tool for the job, your ship is sunk no matter what you do. And I'd rather come back home from that.
Yes, the Vulcans have been aware of the various forms of extrasensory and psychic powers. I have no particular reason to discard your intuition. However, this is a delicate time in Starfleet's history, and in my years as a captain, I have seen many instances in which torpedoes were a necessary function of maintaining ship safety, mission readiness, and accomplishing any goals Starfleet sets out for us. Approximately how much of the ship's complement are you suggesting we replace with extra storage space?
As much as we can manage. Even if we don't lose the entire torpedo complement, reducing it to some degree to get 1 or even 2 units of storage can be the difference between covering our obvious weak point and, well, not so obvious weak point as the case currently is. Or hoping torpedoes will make it go away because it exploded really loud.
Cian says, a well-reasoned consideration and a balanced approach. But even so, what to replace it with that would answer your feeling is a much greater question, I think, than the question of replacement at all.
Yes, even if we were, that was an excellent point, even if we were able to remove part of the torpedo complement, which I cannot promise at this time, how would you confirm your suspicions and come up with a material that would be able to counteract your inferred fears.
I can, by concentrate, I can open my perception to that which is beyond the veil. The problem is that I have to narrow the variables. The problem with extrasensory perception, as you may well know, is that it is fickle in it's not as clear as vision or hearing. It is a feeling. It's a spiritual connection with another perception beyond ourselves. So we would have to try to put in the right thing, and then either we're right and I'll know it, or we're wrong and I know it. But the risk is the more I peer forward, the less present I am, the more at threat we are from second-guessing ourselves all the time. There is such a thing as fearing the stars coming to eat you, and all you could do is jump in a ship and turn on your shields and hope for the best. And your own skill, of course.
Cien will say, then your greatest problem at this time is that you are partially driven by a fear that your perception has imparted to you.
The void reveals, but the mind understands. I am aware that there's only so much that we can trust my perceptions. It's our understanding here that may give it. And perhaps, even if you refuse this, I would still advise that your entire fleet stay at a heightened readiness to some degree. For at this very moment, as far as I am aware, we are in peril. Maybe not lethal peril, but some sort of peril. Which I think as I said, we have managed to some degree, but I have yet to find out what it is that we're missing. I've seen a luminous blue light or field in our way, a light, bright blue light, which may be some sort of energy field, or blockage maybe hinting at a planet. Seen an old-style torch flickering on and off, which I have perceived as a power situation, which we have adjusted, as you saw. Soccer ball, a ball sport where you kick the ball across the pitch. A ball, small thing, spinning on a wooden surface.
I'm aware. Some played it at the academy.
Oh.
Sorry,
I think rugby is better sport.
I prefer games of the mind, but I understand the desire for physical.
Yeah, for some reason, it's not wanting to connect. Discord's not wanting to connect on my PC.
Oh no!
Uh-oh.
So,
Well, that's not good.
it's fine.
You want us to hold?
I don't remember what that thing I said was.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
You pointed out that that Sabira was acting on fears.
Yeah. Okay, and that's what. Then she said, "Yeah, a more disciplined approach might be in order."
Okay.
And the last thing was a soccer ball spinning on a wooden surface, which implies to me a sense of precariousness, perhaps something to do with a planet's spin or gravity.
Oh, I didn't catch what you said about the first two. What you said in character to them about the first two things.
Oh, that was a luminous blue light or field, a light bright blue, which I supposed was some sort of energy field, perhaps relating to an ocean. So I thought of getting containment systems in case there was an energy-based creature that we had to worry. I saw an old-style torch flickering on and off, which indicates to me a danger of power unreliability. So that's why I suggested that we get the backup power systems.
And then the ball is the one we are uncertain on.
Well, I don't know if we covered all of them, if they're all hinting
Sure.
at the same thing or multiple things. The one thing I got out of that was a generic sense of danger, that we were heading toward danger. Once we filled up some of the ship's stores, and we'd already started planning it out, that's when I got a second sense that we were not in danger of death anymore, but there was still a sense of danger. That still wasn't handled. That wasn't really. We hadn't quite handled the danger that I was sensing.
Dolores considers for a moment. Is there? I assume no, but is there any chance I could make an insight roll to guess at an interpretation of what this could mean?
Sure. Insight, science, difficulty 5. The difficulty is only that high because you have so little to go on. And you do not have an applicable focus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's no. Yeah, I don't have an ESP focus or anything.
Mm-hmm.
No, I wouldn't take ESP either. I would only take focuses about the specific thing that was sensed, or things, I guess.
Yeah.
Sorry, I think I tried to open Market Encyclopedia while you tried to read it. I was thinking, oh, they're about to see if they can use that.
No, because it's an immediate spend, so I need momentum, I believe.
Immediate.
No, immediate is one.
Oh, okay. Then take 2
immediate
threat. Could I get a focus in intuition, a sixth sense? I'm not sure exactly what you're looking for here.
No. I will tell you what you got the focus in if you succeed.
All right.
Otherwise, you could just list that you have a focus relevant to this issue. Because if I tell you what the focus is, it'll
give away. Okay.
So you have relevant focus, quote unquote.
I know something.
Read it in a book.
Okay. Insight Science 14, focus, not bad. Are any of these going to happen?
Would her wife be of assistance here, or would it be better for me to do it? I don't see her sheet, so I don't know if she has applicable assistance here.
Let me look real quick.
Yeah, she's. For those watching, as you may have seen, there are some of these that I can open. Those are characters we've made, but if it's an NPC the GM made, we don't. All we get is picture and, well, not him. I made him. CN, for example. See bio and info in that. A mystery.
I mean, not to Soloris. Soloris pretty much knows, but for the rest of you, yeah.
Well, I could get to know her, but well, them both really. My tea. Spill the tea right now. Tell me all the secrets about your wife. Go. Not that one. Not that one. She's within Vulcan neck pinching range. You might not want to tell me that one.
Okay, I don't even think any of my focuses apply here because this is pretty outside my ballot. So why don't you take one?
They don't need to apply because you spent to get.
Right, did I say focus? I meant value. I'm sorry. I'm
okay.
One.
I'm trying to look up to answer the question of would CN be of any use? Assist.
I mean, logic is the beginning. Might be something you could fire.
If you take stress, she can help.
See, so Loris is a pushover, so she's not going to let that to happen.
Um,
Put it to you this way, GM. Do I have a focus that could help here? If she wasn't going to help or would stress her out to help, then I would Sabara would try to help the Congo frigates.
Ian would not get stressed out. What I was saying is that she can give you. She has reassuring, which can help give someone back stress.
Oh.
No, you do not have You do not have the focus I'm looking for.
That would have been there. That would have been too.
Right. I'm just going to give you 6 threat and hope for the best.
Oh, she could help if you had 2 momentum. Because if she creates a trait that represents guidance or advice, she can give you a reroll. But because of the talent teacher, but
With Legion of Honor, I could get 2 momentum and do that, but I already rolled the dice.
poorly. But yes, you did.
Oops.
Like science. I'll try to assist. Let's hope I get lucky.
Well, you would need 3 successes on a single die.
Well, that's why I'm still pitching the idea. No, I don't know if you want to try for it, but logic is not the beginning because we're going into esoteric odd thing here.
Sure. Would you accept logic as the beginning of wisdom, not the end? Because, I'm desperately trying to understand something that... I'm sorry?
Would.
I'm desperately trying to understand something that exists outside of science, materialism, any kind of, structural basis that logic assumes generally exists.
Yeah. Yes, you can do that.
Awesome. Then I'm going to reroll 4. So that's 2, 4, 5, 6. That's 6 in the comp.
Nice.
And you know
So
what?
threat or
Legion of Honoring it, because last time I took a comp, it hurt us a bit. So I can only live dangerously so much.
Yeah.
is Legion of Honor the one that specifically says getting rid of a comp?
On a successful task, ignore complications suffered.
Okay. Yes. So you gain a momentum. The focus you got was astrophysics. And you're pretty confident what Sabira is afraid of is you being in the path of a pulsar.
If I know which thing inspired that, or some combination of them.
Oh, blue light and a pulsing light. That's what pulsars do. They pulse.
A blue pulsing spinning light.
Yeah.
That light being radiation that will destroy you.
Yeah, I'm picturing there's a little classic wall console right here that she puts on a diagram displaying a pulsar, and she says, "I do believe a blue pulsing spheroid object match your descriptions quite well." And well, the best way to avoid the danger of a pulsar is... GM, do I know what the best way to avoid the navigational hazards of a pulsar are?
Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness.
I'm reviewing.
Oh?
Yeah, massive no-go zone. Oh no, it's worse. There's more of it. No! Stop that. This part's open, right? Nothing there. No.
Why did you say that?
Because I don't have a good reason. And then a 4 cube like
Yeah, there's a
Well,
reason
for
Starfleet never
space.
sent any other. There's a reason Starfleet never sent any other ships out this way.
They were simulated. Oh,
So, quickly checking some records, you do find a nearby pulsar that has an unusually high frequency of aligning along this trajectory. They're assumed to be kind of random in their trajectory, and you've never heard of one consistently ejecting along one path, but without fail, at least once every 24 hours, this entire path is irradiated, except for you actually, I won't say. You do find something unusual in that part of the path seems to be interrupted.
Okay.
Like, you have scans that show, a ship detected a pulse from this pulsar once, like 20 years ago, and then everybody would assume it's never going to eject radiation along this path again. Like, it's so random that the heat death of the universe will come before it does this again. But you check 3 other ships' logs and find they all detected the same thing years apart. The only difference being that there is some kind of unusual compression here in the middle where it kind of veers into itself. But on the outside, you have an EMP issue, and in the middle, you have a radiation issue that is so intense that it kind of makes the EMP issue irrelevant.
And what is my understanding about counteractions to this?
better shielding for one.
Yeah. Much stronger shielding than you currently have. But not... but you don't think it impossible.
It looks like we could try to blow through here at a decent amount of shielding. And take the less...
It's not always there. It's just, it's consistently there, and you don't have enough data to predict if there's an exact cycle. It could show up at random times, it could show up on a cycle, but it's not always present.
Oh, but you're saying it's not impossible to do something like this? Or is it the only
It's not
possible...
impossible to just jump across. The only thing is that you expect, in the time that it would take you to get across at maximum warp, it should fire at least half a dozen times. Because you're talking, that's 30 light years across.
Right.
So you are going to have to look at shield, redoing the, which your shields are currently designed for handling energy weapons primarily. So it's not impossible that y'all can find a way.
Yeah. So, okay. Was there an option for enhanced shielding? Wasn't that one of the options we talked about for the ship as extra cargo space?
The GM
We talked
adds.
about like
You were
containment.
y'all were talking about at a personal level. At a ship level would be a different set of cargo.
So, yeah.
Does it have to be cargo, or is it an adjustment that I can make to our deflector system before we leave the starbase?
That depends on if you want the changes to be permanent or not.
All permanent, at least
the
for this
changes-
assignment.
I mean, the changes could make it worse at handling regular energy weapons or gravitational effects, right? So if you want to be able to turn it on and off, then yeah, you would need to be able to assemble and disassemble it, which means you're going to need cargo space. If you're fine with just having it always on whenever the shields are on, like a permanent alteration, then yes, you could do it before you leave.
Okay, then she's going to say, thank you for bringing this to my attention. I am now going to reach out to my engineering and con departments and make the necessary adjustments for the fleet as we proceed.
Well, it's always comforting to figure out the scientific answer to a vision. It's very annoying to have to describe things in playing balls and feeling. I appreciate your time and patience. I see
Yes.
why they assigned a Vulcan flag officer to such an assignment. I don't know if any other species could have this level of patience with this. I've run into very impatient captains that way.
Cian says, you should have met Soloris before. She can be impatient as well.
Soloris opens
This
her
is
mouth.
something we all work on.
I'm just gonna
Yeah, Soloris opens her mouth to contradict her, and then she thinks better of it because she can't talk about any of that stuff without opening herself up to criminal charges, and so she lets it pass. And she says, it takes many years for any person to develop to the person they are currently. I cannot confess to have been a perfectly patient person in the past 50 years.
Dolores had been patient, then you've been married to somebody else, lady. So
Whoa.
I can understand.
True, though.
I can understand that, Commodore. Well, I've kept your marital time shorter than it should be, so I'll finish my tea and be on my way then.
As you're walking towards the door, she says, "Oh, and Saba Rasserine?
Commodore?
Not many people have done this, but you've managed to impress me within the first hour of meeting me. I look forward to working with you over the next coming year."
oh, don't suck up to the civilians.
I get that a lot, Commodore. You'll find reasons to hate me soon enough. Good day.
She nods her head at that. A human might be insulted, but to a Vulcan, she's like, that's a reasonable statement. I might become frustrated with you. I'm not going to tell you that. At least I probably won't, but that's entirely possible.
It's somewhat rude to just say it to
Eric?
somebody's face like that.
I like the note. I make great first impressions, but get to know me.
Yeah.
The opposite of the normal idea of oh no, you gotta, I've got a warm interior. It's no, you don't want to get close. I have a cold interior. It's scary down there.
I'm like a hot pocket.
Oh my god, you have to take the trait human hot pocket now.
No, I'm good without being a human hot pocket. I'm good. I'm fine.
You
sure?
that.
Really?
So Cian says, you acquiesced on the point of compromising your torpedo storage quickly.
I did not realize we were facing problems with pulsars that would threaten our ability to complete our mission, sacrificing part of our torpedo bays in order to allow us to complete the mission was a reasonable choice to make in the moment.
She says, would I be wrong if I expected your tactical officer to shortly come in here and change your mind again?
She
Seriously, you could be married to somebody else.
she puts the tea down on its saucer and she says, "Are you implying something?"
She says, I do think since you have taken greater responsibilities, that you allow yourself to be convinced of things too easy.
I have surrounded myself with trustworthy and skilled advisors who have knowledges I do not possess. I rely on them because I cannot know everything, and I make decisions based off of all of the relevant data as I have it. In fact, I remember someone in this very room who objected to my rash and some might say steadfast decision making of the past.
So, rash, yes, but once your mind was made, it was made. I fear if things were to happen again as they did before, you would easily be dissuaded from the right path. She says, but I do not mean to insult. If you would, if you wouldn't mind, and she will stick her hand up to Mind Melt.
Okay.
Don't do it, it's a trap.
Normalize mind melds between partners.
So this is it can't it always has to have a role by the rules. You can't, like, even though she's a master of Kolinar and you both have the talent. Now you don't have to roll unless you're opposing it. Since you're not opposing it, it's just a roll she has to do,
Makes
and
sense.
it's only difficulty 1.
Because you could biff it. It's like, oh, I failed. Well,
So both of you have the talent. Neither of y'all actually have a focus. She'll spend the momentum if you allow. Actually, she's going to spend a value. Reconciliation is possible.
hey. Yeah, carry your own weight, lady.
That you both can agree that there's an issue.
And knowing the issue is the first step to solving it. I joke, but that's actually true.
Well, good thing y'all get 2 momentum because she spent a value. Because she didn't actually get a success on the roll.
She gets 2 dice, though.
But, well, no, because she spent a value.
Oh, you're right.
She's one.
You're
So-
right. I forget how second ed works.
She is actually going to spend that 2 momentum
No.
for a deeper telepathic exchange, which will allow Soloris to either decide to keep pushover or get rid of it.
Sure.
As you can't, you're not unsure of this anymore. She walks through your memory with you, and even you are like become aware of how easy other people seem to change your mind, even if it's not what you want.
The moment someone
Yes,
walks you to your closet, points at all your terrible clothes, you're like, wow, this is terrible.
Who lives here?
This is your closet.
Oh.
Oh, God.
Oh.
I wore this
yeah.
every day.
Tragic.
Yeah. You know, in my current state, I'm very easily convinced of things, and I'm becoming convinced that I'm too easily
I'm-
convinced of things.
I
And
was gonna say that's
through this process, I'm learning I need to trust my instincts more and not concede ground so quickly. So I'm deleting pushover.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute, just hold on. Yeah.
Now that you're no longer a pushover, you realize you really should be a pushover, so the next time you get 3 points for a trait...
No.
Source is getting caught in a boot loop.
We fade to another scene.
Incorrect buzzer.
Gong. I love these greebles for these maps, these things. It's on every one of the maps. What are they for? They're for a thing. Shut up.
No, this is not a map they made. This is things I put together.
Oh.
I think this map is all. I think I did. I think yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So this is okay. Yeah, this is that. Okay, I got you.
It is what you're thinking, but it's me who decided to do that, not this.
Hey, it's still a good idea. Greeblies work. The reason it's popular in sci-fi.
Feebles.
We find the doctor doing routine paperwork
Notice Jinka.
when there's a alert on the door for someone asking dinner.
Enter.
And to your surprise, Nurse to Pro enters, rather rigid, conforming to the highest level of discipline, and puts a pad on your desk and says, I wish to get your approval for a return to duty, Doctor.
How long
As
has she?
Cap-
How long has she been off?
He has been in one sort of legal limbo or another that has kept her from active service for 3 months.
Ooh, rough.
That's pretty good for
Um,
jurisprudence.
Yeah. Well, the doctor.
Oh, the decision has not been made yet.
Oh,
It's just
Yeah.
decided that it's going to take a long time to decide.
like yeah, go do work
Uh,
for a while now. We'll figure it out later.
The doctor looks to Conway and just says, Conway, if you would, please, give us a moment.
He kind of says, "Oh, no problem, doctor," and steps back a little bit, and then realizes that you're not going to let him stay in the room and goes and finds something else to.
Yeah, usually the doctor's a lot more lighthearted, but no, not today.
Very grounded.
He stands. He stands up, looks down at the pad. I assume it is such a request.
It is, and the item that requires your approval. Well, you have to approve two things. First, you have to approve. You're not approving this, but you're signing that you have been
Acknowledging
made
it.
aware. You're
Yeah,
acknowledging that her species for medical purposes has been redesignated as Romulan, but her citizenship is still Vulcan.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And in fact, it's like there's like another section in the paperwork. Like there's a section for species, and then there's a section for non-Federation species for to make a doctor aware that there's less that they need to take effort to get additional medical information for this patient because it's not going to be in a standard database, and it's like written there. Like you have to acknowledge
Yes,
your
got
standard
it.
medical library is not going to have everything you need.
Well, he looks at it, reads the acknowledgement, sets it down on the table, stands up, and says, I believe at the bare minimum I'm owed an explanation.
She says, I I have a firm belief that one should treat according to active and up-to-date medical and scientific knowledge that but that patient consent and well-being are also to be considered, which coupled with being
that's not what I mean.
she says, but if you combine that with being in the service of the Romulan Navy, which I don't claim to have ever been a part of, or adhering to the principles I just mentioned, they become impossible to keep together. I can either do those here, live by and practice by a medical and ethical standard I think you would agree to, or I could have continued my medical training in the Empire. But I could not have done both.
And
I
the
would rather think you'd
replicators?
approve of the with me.
And the replicators?
Then your piece one.
I was threatened by the syndicate. I was reasonably made to believe that failure to aid them would result in a destruction of the Thralic. I don't know if you wish to see the technical information, but I'm not a technical officer. Their
I don't need to
their
see the
method
technical I don't need to see the technical information. I saw the results of your handiwork on those medical beds right in there. And I want you to have a
she
good long think
said
about that.
she says I agree that designing such a virus was inadvisable and to be avoided. But there is always a line between the needs of the many and the needs of the few that I fail sometimes to grasp because I did not receive that full education. In the Empire, I simply would have the protocol for handling such a situation would have been much easier.
Well, perhaps it is good that you did not receive that full education. A mindset that treats lives in such a mathematical manner as an equation to be balanced has no place in a medical facility such as this. It
She
has
looks
no place
confused.
in it has no place in this profession.
She looks confused and says, I thought you would have suggested that the Vulcan way was much more admirable. I mean, the Romulan way would have been to go along until I felt the moment to draw a disruptor on them, or have them tortured to reveal the location of their device, even if it didn't exist. Is neither approach a good, acceptable? He says, I don't have any modern understanding of Aurelian philosophy.
No, nor would it be particularly applicable to this situation, in fairness to you. But I need you to have a nice long think about what you have done here. And I need you to make sure that you do not make a mistake like this again when you stand in that medical bay.
She says, well, until only a moment ago, I had a path forward to do that. It was to immerse myself in the teachings of Seurat. But if you are suggesting that that is a poor approach, then I'd require your guidance.
He nods. That you would. And he taps the acknowledgement button on the pad. And hands it back to her.
And draws a disruptor.
And then draws the disruptor. Ha, you fool!
This was all a loyalty test.
This is a long con.
I too work for the Romulan Navy.
This was the long con. No. He hands the pad back to her. And once she departs, the doctor does want to think on something for a moment. We're about to depart on this big, like, year-long trip. How
Yep.
does this, like, how does this impact her legal like the status of her ongoing legal issues?
It'll be resolved by the time she gets back. Oh.
Um, basically, she's been Starfleet has decided to send her back to her current assignment, and then it's up for Soloris to decide whether the issue warrants her being reassigned or not. Because one hand doesn't always talk to the other, right? The authority
Right.
on the JAG officers on the planet may not even know that Thralick's about to set out, and they can't keep track of the entire fleet to know when it's okay to reassign someone and not. So it's
Got
it's
it.
up to Soloris, really.
Okay. In which case, the doctor will attempt to pencil in a appointment with Soloris for sometime in the next day or so.
Oh, and
Just
then they
to-
died.
Yeah.
Your message is intercepted.
Uh-oh.
Mm.
In fact, I will make this a reversal because I think
Uh-oh.
You don't owe me 2 more.
I don't. Actually, I think it's only 2 per character in the scene.
I was joking for my other character who added 2 cost of any reverse.
I know.
I'm just saying.
But it actually does cost. It's like 2 per character, I believe.
2 per character present in the scene.
So, Soloris, you're still you're still kind of deeply thinking about, maybe I should stand up a little bit more. When you hear Celine over your shoulder saying, "Oh, Dr. Tweer wishes to meet with you," I'm going to go ahead and invite him up here. Without, as she says, still in the mode of thinking that you will just say yes.
Dr. Tweer wishes to speak to me on official business. I shall conduct official business with Dr. Tweer in my office. And she's going to
The
stand up.
reversal is that the reversal is that you hear a ping at the door. That he's already here.
Yeah. She's holding in a large sigh, and as she says, "Enter,"
Dr. Tweer enters.
there's a little bit of tension in the room. I think you can feel it immediately. And she says, Yes.
Can he? One
this
of
is
you,
two
one of you is a
Vulcans.
"That's true.
colonoscopy.
Okay,
All
okay,
emotion.
that's true.
The other
Okay.
one is nearly that.
Okay, let me
I
rephrase
think it would
that.
be like a Div 5 task for him to know that there was tension in the room.
Okay, you're totally fair. Okay, she's going to say, my chief medical officer, are there additional preparations you need to complete?
Indeed. Although they need to be run past you as they are of a legal matter.
Continue.
T'Pro has returned to the ship under the orders of Starfleet Command. She has been returned to duty.
And you object to her presence here?
Not currently. However, as you may or may not be aware, her legal status, both in the civil and criminal sense, are still pending.
Okay, I wasn't here 2 sessions ago, so refresh my memory. What did she do?
I will correct you.
Oh,
I will correct you,
Oh.
Doctor. I'll correct you. The criminal side is not pending.
okay.
Um, it was done under coercion, and she was penalized, but that penalty did not include imprisonment.
Got it. Okay.
Like there is
That's
an official sanction, but it didn't remove her from Starfleet.
Got it.
The thing that's under consideration is she allowed to serve in Starfleet at all? Because
Mm,
presumably her Vulcan citizenship is a fabrication, and she's really a Romulan citizen. But
got
she's
it.
not saying that she's a Romulan citizen, and no one else. Like you can't go ask the Romulans, "Hey, is this one of your people?"
Right.
Did you
got
lose
it.
this?
Okay, did you lose this? Okay, so scrub that. In the civilian, in the civil sense, her legal status is still pending, and it is entirely possible that her ability to serve in Starfleet may be impeded should circumstances change whilst we are en route.
Yeah, you see Solora stands up and she begins pacing a little bit, which she doesn't often do. And she says, I understand your concerns. However, my options are limited without a board of inquiry formally finding her guilty of anything. In the Federation.
Well, it isn't a criminal matter. It is a civil one.
Yes, but unless the Admiralty deems her unfit to serve, it would be hard for me to outright reject an otherwise capable officer who has been currently cleared of wrongdoing. She has a presumption of innocence.
Yes, quite.
She thinks for a little bit more and she says, in addition, I have already burnt some of my influence, as it were. I have requested one of the new Miranda-class ships accompanies us on this mission, as I did not believe we would have the necessary supplies otherwise. To make such a big request of Admiral Sean, I do not wish to further inflame him by demanding replacements for my staff as well.
And nor would I expect that. It is, in fact, I have already accepted her. I have already accepted the paperwork necessary for her to serve. Again, my concern is what happens if we are en route and then all of a sudden her legal status changes.
Well, we can only act
Tien
on...
will speak up and say, the question is her status as a citizen of the Federation.
Correct.
She kind of looks off for a second and then looks back. Well, then there is one complicated solution. How old is she, Doctor?
What? He just blinks.
Is she below the age of 60?
He thinks for a few minutes. If she's Romulan, probably.
It's up for you to decide. It's not been decided yet, so you can say yes or no.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Cien looks back and then at Soloris and then says, then as a young Vulcan without family, there is a right. You could take her as a daughter. She looks at Soloris. She
Feather
would become a
ruffles.
Federation citizen.
So Loris, figures out halfway through where this is going, is internally bracing herself. He says, yes, that is technically possible. However, I will admit to myself a somewhat social distance from Lieutenant Dupro. We have not had much time to be acquainted. And in addition to that, what was the other point I was going to make?
There is also something of forgive me for lecturing on matters of logic to the Vulcans in the room, but there does seem to be something of a legal, logical paradox. In order for this right to function properly, the individual must be considered Vulcan, correct?
Cien, someone who has spent some time studying, not some time, a lot of time studying Vulcan philosophy and logic, says it is a difficult point to understand for those unfamiliar with Vulcan law, but the custom in question is first cited in legal decisions only a decade after the time of Serac, when many young soldiers returned to find families annihilated in nuclear fire. And families needed to be created ad hoc. So the law already considers those who might have marched under the Raptor's wings. Though I'm sure no current Vulcan court has ever considered such a question. Considering that question alone would take well past the time that this mission would take to resolve.
We are
And
not
by which
a
point,
Vulcan. Sorry.
by which point it would no longer matter.
Yes.
We
You
are not
may-
a. Go ahead.
You may resolve the matter by fait accompli.
We are not a Vulcan High Court. It is not our place to debate the nuances of Vulcan law.
It's clear
We-
which way is correct.
Hmm.
I
Well-
recommend we make immediate action and then let others determine its legality after.
This may not even be necessary. After all, the civil ruling may turn out in her favor from the beginning.
Cien says, but if you wait for the court to decide, their action may be swift. If they decide against her, then it may not just be they have decided that she is Romulan and other things now must be considered. Their decision may be complete at that time. Removal, expulsion, or many other things.
I
To prevent
see.
them from making that decision by pulling the decision into Vulcan civil law and not just Federation civil law could add years.
I see. Well, it is much to consider. However, I believe this discussion has gone beyond my professional purview as her superior officer. This is only a discussion that I think you would be able to have with the nurse. Or are there other Vulcans on the ship, or is it?
I don't know if there are any other named ones, but we can presume there are some Vulcans.
There are a bunch of other named ones, I think.
Oh, are there? Okay.
There's a couple more, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
This is something that could only be discussed among the culturally adherent Vulcans of the crew.
Sian will kind of turn towards Soloris and raise an eyebrow and say, yes, it may stretch the court to its limit to argue in favor of 2 Vulcan mothers for a Romulan daughter, but to add a Aurelian father into the mix would be too far, I think.
Doctor,
Which-
that is her attempt at humor.
I was about to say, she thinks is hilarious, but doesn't smirk it off.
Yeah.
I believe I understand the. I believe I understand the logic of the joke.
Very well. I shall, over the course of the coming days, make discussions and ruminate on this decision. And so long as the High Court does not preempt us, I do believe we have at least a few days to come to an answer. I appreciate you bringing this to my attention, Doctor.
The doctor nods. Now, if you'll excuse me, I do have other preparations to make before our departure, namely coordinating long-term medical supplies with our new logistical ship.
Yes, I am glad that someone else told you that. Break that to you, but yes, the Miranda class ship should be able to lighten the strain somewhat on what you are carrying.
And that's where we'll close it out.
Right, for everyone watching out there, thank you very much for watching. Those of you playing and running, thank you very much for doing so, and look forward to seeing you again next time. Bye. There was a moment where I was I considered briefly if I was like really convinced on doing the cargo thing, going like, hey, 2 momentum, you can trust me.
Oh God.